We've all seen it. You ask AI to build a product and you get the same gray looking cards, purple gradient, a navbar with a logo written text. The same layout, same font, every time. We started calling it AI slop, and it's a very deserving name. The thing is, the tool is not the problem. Most people throw a blank canvas at AI and expect it to build product with great taste. But AI does not have great taste. I've spent more than half a decade building real products for real user as a product engineer. To build great products, you need to put in the right system. And we're going to show you how you can turn a landing page like this into this with very little effort. I'm going to show you the process that you need to follow to make sure you always get the best design output for your products. Let's get started. So what we're going to build today is an AI agent marketplace. So in high level, it should have creators, buyers, and a marketplace. Creators should be able to sell their AI agent skills and plugins, and buyers should be able to use those to browse AI agents, compare them with other agents, see the pricing, and also license them, deploy them, use their analytics, and also directly connect them to their preferred tools like Slack, Notion, Zapier, Gmail, or even their own APIs. Like if they're a developer, they should be able to use this agent with their API as well. So that's the high level of what we're going to build. So I do not have a name picked yet for this product. So that is what I am going to do first, because every product should have a good name. So to pick a name, I'm gonna obviously use Claude because it's very fast at brainstorming those ideas. I'm just gonna give it some basic idea about what this product does and ask it to generate some product names for this. So I just wrote a very basic prompt saying, give me 5 brand name ideas for a product that enables creators to sell their AI agents, plugins, and skills. Buyers can buy these agents and deploy them in their own workflow. And I just asked it to keep it simple and in one word. So let's see what Sonnet 4.6 generates for their brand name. So it generated 5 names: Agently, Skillforge, Deployed, PlugVault, and Flowbase. I like this Skillforge a lot. So for now, I think I like Skillforge, shows the power of skills. So I think I'm going to go with Skillforge. So now we have the name for the Skillforge. So let's think about requirements for Skillforge. High level, right? We want to give the base to Claude Code when you start working with Claude Code. So before you go there, I want to make sure in Claude or any other LLM that you're using for brainstorming to gather basic requirement docs for your product. So for Skillforge, I'm going to start generating that. So I've written a basic prompt saying you're a product engineer, plan the section of a landing page for an AI agent marketplace called Skillforge, a platform where people discover, compare, and deploy AI agents, skills, and plugins. Make it clear what the platform is, show what's available, build trust, and a user review section, FAQ section, and get people to sign up. Focus on user pain points so that they understand what Skillforge will solve for them. Generate enough section for a high conversion landing page that will funnel customer to our marketplace. And in the end, I said generate product requirement docs. So I'm going to use AI to generate the docs so that I don't have to do the heavy lifting. AI will does it for me. I just gave it the core requirement. So as you can see, I was thinking and trying to create a PRD. So it went ahead and generated the PRD for Skillforge. So let's go through them one by one. So first, it generated the product overview saying Skillforge is an AI agent marketplace where creators publish and monetize AI agent skills and plugins, where buyers discovers, evaluate, and deploy them directly into their workflows. And primary goal of this landing page is instant communication, what Skillforge is and what the problem it solves. Convert cold traffic, both creators and buyers, into signups or waitlist entries. Build credibility through social proofs, reviews, and transparent FAQs. Funnel all visitors towards one CTA, early access sign up. So this is excellent. I think this is exactly what I want. It then generated information for target audience and pain points. So it generated 2 personas. Personas A or 1 is the builder, the creator who actually builds agents, plugins, and skills, and the other user is the deployer or the buyer who actually will deploy those agents in their workflows. So I think this is great. This matches up with what I wanted it to generate. And then it go into the sections for the landing page. So we have the hero section, and then it generated the social proofs, pain section, the problem that the user is facing, and also the solution. Very standard way to generate a marketing landing page. And then you have the feature highlights, category showcase, and featured agents, which is like the top agents that you may have in the platform, creator spotlight, integrations, user reviews and testimonials, pricing preview. Again, we have the FAQ and the final CTS sign up, and at the end then we have footer. Very close to what I wanted to build. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this and port it over to Claude Code to get started building this landing page. So now I'm in Claude Code and I have opened my IDE, and as you can see the project is empty. So I'm going to ask Claude to generate a Next.js project in the root of this project. Generate a Next.js project. So I have asked Claude to generate a Next.js project in the root. It's going to generate that project in here that is already SkillForge. So it's selecting TypeScript by default, which is what we want because it helps us maintain the product better, especially with AI. And Tailwind, which is great. So I'm going to continue. So it went ahead and generated the project using Next.js. You can see it generated the product saying SkillForge. So as you can see, it went ahead and generated the project called SkillForge with Next.js, Tailwind, and TypeScript. Now we can start building our product here. So as you can see, so far we haven't give it any branding information, or I don't want to give it beforehand because I want to show you what it generates by default with just our PRD, and then show you how you can actually improve it with our own design or the inspiration that we have. So I've copied the PRD that we generated using Claude and pasted it here, and I'm gonna ask it to generate some specs for our product. Here is our PRD, generate docs for specs, and so I'm going to go in plan mode by clicking Shift Tab. Now I'm in plan mode, put them inside docs folder. So I'm gonna click. Claude will now start thinking and go through our PRD and generate required documentation for our product. So as Claude is generating our product, I'm going to start the landing page in a dev server so that you can see how it looks. So we have the template Next.js landing page here. So there's nothing else on the site right now. And it is going through and generating the plan saying generate SkillForge docs from PRD. Context: the user has provided a full PRD for SkillForge. AI Agent Marketplace landing page. AI Agent Marketplace landing page. They want the PRD converted into structural documentation, specs, and plans, and placed inside a docs folder. So I'm going to go ahead and say yes, auto accept. Yeah, so it's going to do the specs and the implementation plan. So it has generated the docs and put them inside the docs folder. If I go to the docs folder, we have the specs. So if I preview it, so product overview, exactly what Claude generated, primary goals, target personas, and kept this section as is, like section details and everything is kept here as is. And it's also added an implementation plan saying what is the tech stack that we're going to be using, framework Next.js, UI library React, styling Tailwind CSS. I'm not gonna use any design library to avoid cookie cutter designs for now. Gradually, as we go through this process of improving design, we'll gradually generate our own set of components that will basically serve our interest with AI. So for example, we also share the file component structure, data shapes for TypeScript. I think that is fine. Section by section build nodes so that the AI can verify its changes, and also the footer that we'll need. So I think I'm not going to review it that much. I think that is fine because it's based off of the PRD that we already generated with Claude. So I'm going to ask it to start creating the landing page. So continue, I'm going to Shift Tab. So I'm asking it to start implementing the landing page based on our plan. So it's going to do that. So I'm just telling it, okay, generate the landing page. I'm not giving it any specific direction as of now. So as you can see, it's also saying I have enough context. Now I'll use a specialized agent to implement the full landing page, since this involves creating 30 plus files, and I'll provide it with all the context from our planning. That is why it's very important that you do the planning beforehand so that AI knows what it needs to do. So always try to do the plan first and then ask AI to implement it. That way, even though you're not gonna get the best results in the first few iteration, it is still closer to what you want to actually do. So after 15 minutes, Claude is done generating the landing page. It also gave us a summary saying what was built. 33 files was built with data, 6 files in source data for 16 agents, 8 categories, 3 creators, everything keeping the data organized, which is great. Then we have the UI components, source UI component, which has the button, badge, tab toggle, agent card, review card, pricing card, and FAQ item. We have the section from the PRD, also the layout and app configuration. So now let's see how it looks. Okay, so it's running on localhost 3000. So this is the landing page. Let's see what are the other section that is generated. So we have the problem section, 2 sites for buyers and creators. We have how it works browse, discover, preview, evaluate, and deploy in minutes. Everything you need, nothing you don't. Code, showing the platform features and also showing the categories that you have for the agents and workflows. Handpicked by our team, logged by deployer, feature agents. This code new arrival, top rated, free. And we have the creator spotlight, top creators in our platform. Integration, where you can integrate testimonials from clients. Pricing, two different pricing for deployers and creators. And we have the FAQ section as well, for I'm a deployer, I'm a creator, for two different early access, and also the footer. So as you look at this website, you can clearly tell this is a cookie cutter AI generated landing page. You see the badge, you see the gradient text, you see the gradient background, glowing button, text logo, which is great. But it went ahead and tried to generate it like a product shot using code as well, which is great. I think this can be useful. Yeah, I may like it. I may keep this. And we have also all of these designs are pretty much like these overcolored emojis, overused emojis everywhere. There's so many emojis, and these cards, even this tabs has emojis. Every text has a gradient portion of it, and the feature agents, of course. And you can see every section is almost the same. And yeah, so I think this is no different than all the other pages that AI generates. It just have a lot of context, a lot of content, because we planned beforehand and we went ahead and defined what we need for each section in terms of content, not in terms of design, right? So the way we'll improve this design is in iteration. In first iteration, first we'll try to see what is the design or what is the other sites that we like. We're gonna take the inspiration from them. We're gonna create a design.md file to extract all the information, all the design information that we want to keep, and then we'll make sure that design.md file is injected every time the design.md file is improved iteratively by Claude, so that every time we ask for a design change, it remembers that this is part of our design philosophy or design principle, and we'll make that instruction part of our Claude.md, which is like the entry file for Claude, so that every time we run a prompt, it will always make sure that it's updating the design.md. So we looked into that. So that is the first plan, right? The first phase. First phase, we're gonna extract our design principle from our inspiration. So afterwards, we'll then go to each section and we're gonna revamp them. We're going to share our feedbacks, what you like, what you don't. The secret for getting better results with AI in design, like every other time, even before AI, is iteration. Design, you cannot get the best design in the first iteration. You have to iterate, you have to define your design principle as you go, and make sure that after a certain iteration, you will have a very core design defined that you can basically reuse throughout your site to make consistent looking product. Most important part of good design is consistency. So that's why you have to make sure that our product is built with reusable components, so that we don't have to define the design principle every time scatteredly in different places. So let's look at some of the competitors or some of the sites that I think should go well for this kind of marketplace. I think I found two so far. So one platform is called adalane.ai. It's like single platform to iterate, evaluate, deploy, and monitor AI agents. It's exactly like the product that we're building. And so I like their landing page a lot. I think this is a great landing page because it focuses on the important information rather than, for example, if you go to our sites, it doesn't look as appealing, right? Like the marketplace for AI agents, it's saying AI agent marketplace and also saying the marketplace for AI agents, repeating the same information two times. It doesn't make it better for the user because they're consuming same content twice. And I think this description is fine. Get early access, browser agent, those are buttons. Those I'm not gonna think too much about it. And it's also giving some social proof saying 12,000 creators deployed already on a Scaleforce, right? So I think I want a more cleaner look for the AI agent, because to give it a more futuristic look, if you will. So this is the Adalane product page. I definitely like the hero section, and they also, I think, I do not like the animation going on that they have, because I think animation is a little bit jarring for the end user to consume the context. This is definitely cool code wise, but I do not prefer too much animation in the landing page. I think that makes it hard to convey the message to the user. I think I like the design here as well. It's much cleaner and much more modern looking, and you can see the library here as well. I also like this, the direction, the images. I do like this product shot as well, and the but I do not like the parallax effect that is creating the mask of this lake and mountain, and the footer is not that great either. I think that's not something that I'm going to take, but I'm definitely gonna take some section. Then I think the another side that I want to look at is 11 Labs, right? They have also have agents marketplace. So one thing I want to share is whenever you're trying to build a product, always make sure to look at your competitors. That is like a standard practice that all designers, product designers did even before AI. You need to look at your competitors, see how others are doing, or like similar niche, or the products in your niche, so that you understand what already works, where people already found the product market fit, right? So I think this type of inspiration will help you cut down your research time quite a bit. So 11 agents, which is from 11 labs. So 11 labs have 11 agents, so they're showing the automation, CRM, all the products that they have. I also like their design. I think it's cleaner. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this inspiration and I'm going to devise our design.md, and over time I'll also give feedbacks. I'll take inspiration from other section and improve our design.md file so that we know that this is the design that we want. Obviously you cannot rip off every company or every other product's design. That's not ethical and that should not be the way. You should take inspiration and then use your own spin, use your own philosophy, or use your own thinking to actually improve the product so that it fits your needs or the way you're serving your customer to solve their problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each of the section that I like in these two sites, and then I'm going to share it with Claude and use Haiku to get vision so that it can understand the images, that it can understand how the design should be done for each of the section. So it will not get it perfect in the beginning, it will not get it perfect in the first phase obviously, but it will at least understand what you want in terms of design a lot better. So I'm going to screenshot the hero section, and I'm going to paste that hero section in here. We're going to see their pricing. I like the design. I also like this grid that they have, looks cool. So next we're gonna take a screenshot from 11 Labs for their agents marketplace. Sure. I also like this footer a lot better, and I also like their landing page, 11 Labs landing page. So I'm going to capture it. So I have taken like 11 screenshots from different sections that I like, and I'm going to now ask Claude to analyze these screenshots and generate a design.md file for our product, and also then think about how to create components for headings, text, and other necessary UI elements that we need for the product. So let's ask Claude. Let's analyze. I've went through and added all the images that I want to add, and I also wrote a prompt saying let's analyze these images to extract design information. We want to make sure our product follows these design principles. Create a design.md file to create all the design information like a brand designer and a product engineer. Include all the colors, sizes, spacing, and icon usage. We do not want to use any emojis. We want to make sure all design elements that is shared between sections and pages are in components folder. This includes headings, text, spacing, and other design elements. Make sure to update Claude.md to always update design.md if user asks to update any design in the future, to make sure we are always following the approved design system. And one thing that I'm going to do as well, as I'm going to say our brand color, I'm going to just quickly pick a brand color for us. So for that, I'm going to go for the brand color. I quickly came to Adobe color, and I'm just going to copy this color palette saying this is our brand color, just to be specific, not vague like vague blue. This is our brand color. So now I'm going to go in plan mode so that Claude can analyze all of these designs and create a good design documentation for us, and then we'll start revamping each of the section based on the way we like it. Ideally, I should do this beforehand, but I wanted to generate it first so that you can see the difference between before and after. So Claude already generated the design.md file. So first let's look at the design.md file. So it says this document is a single source of truth for all visual and design decision in SkillForge. All design choices, colors, typography, spacing, components, icons must reference this document. Any deviation requires updating this file first. Great, that's what I want. Design philosophy: the SkillForge visual language is inspired by modern developer tool and AI platform aesthetics. Adeline and 11 Labs. Key principle: editorial restraint, generous white space, disciplined hierarchy, and nothing decorative without purpose. That's exactly what I want. I don't want any emojis for the landing page, obviously. Legibility first, clean geometry, no emojis. Brand color is a signal, not a wallpaper. That's too strong, but I think that is fine. Light first. Yes, we are going to use the light mode first, not dark. And it also picked up our color palette, like brand color, and also picked up the neutral palette. That is what I want. Our product should be in neutral mode with very minimal or brand color so that it gets the maximum focus. Semantic colors and also typography. I'm not thinking too much about typography right now, but typography is a big factor. It's one of the biggest factor for good design. For now, I think this font is fine. It's basically from Next.js, but I think we're gonna change the font in a later phase, not now. It also generates the type scale, which is important to have a consistent design. So typography rules is here, responsive adjustment is here, spacing system important, and also have the border radius, button variants, the variants that we need for the button, cards and icons, icon style, navigation, section anatomy, which is like I think the biggest factor here. Section anatomy is very important because all the sections that AI generates are mostly like the same and they look very generic. And the grid patterns, social proof bar, pricing section, FAQ accordion, form elements, divider, animation and motion. I think for animation it's not using anything. Okay, that's fine. Responsiveness, shared component inventory. It also generated shared component inventory. So this is very important. Like I said, for our design consistency, we want to make sure that all our design elements are reused everywhere so that it's easier for us to maintain them as we want to change them and update them in the future. And what not to do, always it updated. It's just as important as what it has to do. Never use emojis, never use gradient text on headings. Absolutely, I do not like them. Purple violet, do not use it. Shadow heavy cards, absolutely not. Those are type of design. Never hard code spacing, which is great. I wanted to use Iconify for our icons, so I'm gonna ask it for a change, asking me to approve the change for Claude Code so that every time we are asking something, it will automatically inject our design system. I think I can approve it. It's good. And then I think it will gonna update the global.css. Use Iconify icons instead of SVG. So I think our Claude.md, next global.css and design.md file generation is done. We're going to create the reusable sections, reusable components that we need for our design system. So I'm going to give it the go ahead saying, now start creating our design elements. So I just asked Claude to start creating our design elements. Now it's gonna go ahead and create all the necessary components. This is not gonna be perfect, like I said. This is always the first iteration. Your goal is to, once you get this design philosophy in place, now you're continuously going to give feedback, and every time you give feedback, your design.md file will get updated, and it will have, after a certain iteration, you will be there. You will have the exact design that you have in mind, ready to go all the time whenever you want to create any feature. So I think first create those components. We'll update the entire landing page in a single prompt just to see the difference between the first design and second design. And then we'll go through each of those sections one by one to improve them based on the way we want them to look. So Claude is now done generating the new design components, and also it updated the existing components based on our design system. So now what I'm going to ask Claude is to update the entire landing page based on our new design system so that we can see what it does in one shot. Now update the landing page based on design. So it's going to update our design system and we're going to see how it looks. So Claude is done with changing our landing page based on our new design system. It went through all the section and it also gives us a summary what is changed. So now let's look at how it looks after applying our new developed design system. Okay, so it looks pretty good. As you can see from the very beginning, the hero section looks now much cleaner and more closer towards what we wanted to build. Like if we look at Adeline, it's much cleaner like this, and 11 Labs, they are very clean as well, and our application is looking much better than it was looking before. No gradients, nothing like that, and the buttons are much cleaner and more modern looking. And also, like, look at this nav, the nav is looking very good. The hero section, this product shot is now looking much better with the white background and in light mode. I still don't like the hero section. We're going to improve the hero section that I'm going to show you afterwards. But let's look at the other sections, how it did it. The trusted by team section is also updated. This is looking much cleaner than it was before. The problem sections is, I think, also updated, but it is still in dark mode, which I don't like. We can definitely improve this, but I think this looks much better than it was before. And now we have the how it works section. This also looking much better, much cleaner, no annoying emojis, and it's also following our brand colors very well. One thing I do not like is using too much brand color here. That is why this button is element not being the highlighted element here. So I think we can definitely update that, but for now this looks amazing, I think. And look at the platform features cards are looking much better than before, and they're using very nice icons from Iconify. And this is the category cards are also looking great, much cleaner, exactly the way I want it to look. And feature agent cards are looking good as well, definitely way better than before, but they can be cleaned up more. But like I said, that's what we are gonna do with when you go through each of the section individually to apply exactly what we need. But this is already like 90% there based on what we need. So the button is also in relevant variants because this is not the primary action, so that is good. Creator Spotlight is still in dark mode, but the UI is much cleaner. No more emojis, no more too many emojis or too many colors. I think this should be just simple light mode to fix this on how it looks, or maybe different background color like a blue or something like that make it more pop, create a more of a variation in the sections. And then you have the integration. This is looking really nice. Like you can see the dotted lines. I think we have them in 11 labs, very subtle lines in 11 labs. We have that here as well. And we got all the platforms and hovering and everything looks great. I think this is a very good section. Then we have the testimonials, much cleaner, much flatter. That's what we needed. And the pricing section is looking really good as well. Before it was really cluttered, but now it's very flat and very nice looking. You see, much cleaner. You exactly know what you need to do. It's not distracting at all right now, and all of this has been just achieved with just formulating the design.md file based on the design aesthetics that we like and that we want to build. So you can already see like really major improvement. Is like a day and night difference between before and after the version that AI generated and the version that we generated after creating our design system. The FAQ section is looking great as well. This is nice. This is much cleaner. One thing I don't like is the animation, but we haven't given any instruction to Claude about how to do the animation. That is, I think, can be an improvement. That is not the main concern right now. And the final CTA section, I think this can be improved a little bit more, but still this is much cleaner than what it was before, and we can improve it much better. And we have the footer section is black, but it is cleaner, and I think we do not have this longer those emojis like love emoji and stuff like that. This is much more professional looking design, and you can see the icon design, they're looking amazing. So I think you can already see the improvements of each section before and after. I think this is the way to create better designs and have your product vision in much more concise way to tell the agents what you really want to build, and it's already can take you 90% there. So I think even changing anything, this is like way better than whatever AI generates, whatever other people would generate, without having this design.md reference or like trying to inject your own design principle or building your own design system. What I want to do next is go through each of the section. So this is already great, and you already got the idea that how AI can improve its design. What you have to do is now for landing page, anything that you're building in a product, make sure the first page is defined. You go to each section and manually approve the layout and font, everything that you want to do, so that your design system reflects what you want to build. So I'm not gonna go through all the sections and update them. What I'm going to do is change the hero section so that you know how to take this to the next level without doing too much. So what I'm going to do is, my main reference point was Adeline for the hero section, because I said I like the way they design their homepage, but definitely we're not gonna copy it exactly because that's not the way to do it. So we have the product shot here. I do like this product shot, and I do like the title and the CTA button, but I do not like this duplicative badge here. and the description can be kept as well. I think I don't have a problem. And we also have this 12,000 creators, the proof, but that's already being like we already have that information stats in here as well, so that's redundant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to think of a different layout that will make it look even better. Like I said, when you're on the first page, you're not seeing the product. I want to see the product first. So what I want to do is I want to make sure this title goes into a different layout. That title can be in here. The description can go underneath it as well with text left aligned, and we can have this button being on the right side as a CTA button. And we're going to add a background image like this so that it gives us this same feeling of adrenaline that's I want to invoke for the user. So I think first let us do this. Let us first change the layout, and then we'll show you how you can generate an image so that it respects the design of your hero section. So first let's do the changes for this. What I'm going to do is, so again, I'm going to take a screenshot. I'm going to paste it in Claude, the screenshot, and say, and move the title and the description. So I've written the prompt saying move the title and description on the left, align the text on left, align the text on left, remove the badge, move the button on the right, and both title button should be in the same container but flexed. Remove the badge and the numbers underneath so that the product shot is more visible. I'm going to click on it. Now Claude will read through our prompt and try to update. So I've went ahead and updated the design based on my preference. So as you can see, I've made the text left aligned and the button on right, and also increase the width of the product to make it look more seamless. So now I'm going to do is generate a background image similar to this using Prismatic, which is from a product called Post Prism. It's basically social media scheduling, and they also have a go-to tools that generate product specific images. So for example, I came in here and I'm going to select a preset called they have a lot of preset. They have the styles baked in basically. So I'm going to say the prompt will be, you can also create your own brand if you want to, but I'm not gonna focus on brand too much. I'm going to generate an image saying a person using computer. So this is like my basic prompt. This style already has all the necessary information to generate this image from it. It's sort of like a Ghibli style image. So a person using a computer to build products, 2 mountains on the side, and the middle is empty so that our text can go through there, and with open sky and white space. And I'm not going to add any reference image. I'm going to select the dimension 16:9, and I'm going to select the model that I want to select. So let's see what it generates. We can also edit it after the generation is done. So usually it takes like a minute to generate the image. So once the image generation is done, we'll see if we need to improve it or if we need to, if we can use it directly. So as you can see, it generated the image. It looks pretty good. I think this will go really well with our site based on the reference. Like it's also sort of like a Ghibli style image. So I'm going to make it in light mode, or so like in daylight, so that it gets better with our product. Change to data. So I'm going to apply. I'm going to create variation for it basically, so that I can use that instead of the generated version. So yeah, this is looking much better. I do not like the flowers, but I think I'm gonna ask for that version. Remove the flowers sides and add crowd. So this is like it would be like our developer building agents sort of like vibe. That's why I use this. I'm not sure if we are gonna be able to see it with our product shot in the front. I may even remove that product shot if it doesn't look that good. But I think for now, let's see how it goes. Difference. I'm going to download the image and I'm going to put it into our project folder so that we can reference this with Claude to update our background. So I'm in Claude Code. I'm going to reference that files by using @skillforge_hero. Use this image as our hero section background image. So it is going to use this image to update our background image. Added the background image, and as you can see, it's looking much better, and now it's already looking a lot better. For example, because of the 2 mountains are on the side, we can clearly see our text and the primary button. Change the layout a little bit more because it makes it much better. Now this already looking a lot better. We can also remove the background color from here, from the header, and also make the text as black. Cleaned up the UI a little bit further by making the navbar initially transparent so that it looks much better with the UI. And once you scroll up, it'll just be white. So now we need a good logo. So one thing that we're missing right now is a good logo. So I'm going to quickly just open Figma and create a very simple logo. You don't have to go to this, but I think having a logo makes it much better. So what I'm going to do is just use Iconify plugin to get icon. So it's a marketplace of an AI agent. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to probably get a marketplace icon and add our Skillforge logo on the side to make it more like a logo. Search for this Iconify plugin for Figma. You can download it for free. So, and Figma is free as well. You don't have to use any paid version. So I'm going to the search market. I do not like the icons. So maybe I'll search by agents. Let's see what it generates. I do like them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to take the very first one, I guess. So I'm going to use this one and I'm going to change it to our brand. The same. Ungroup this. So I've updated the logo to be a very simple logo, like a sort of like a black and white, and I'm going to export it. So I've exported the logo from Figma. Now I'm going to tell Claude to use that as logo. Use logo.png as our logo in the nav. So now it's going to use this in the nav, and now Claude just updated that image, and now it's looking, I think, much better. You can see the logo. Once you scroll it up, you can see the logo as well. So I think this is looking much better, and this doesn't look like a generated site at all. This looks custom built, which we just did. So what you need to do is now repeat the same process for each of the sections. So once you go through all the sections and upgrade them based on the way you want it to look, then you will have your final design.md file, and then you can just use that to spin up any new pages, any new feature that you want to build, and they will look mostly consistent because of the way you have defined the design file for the single page. Always make sure that you are iterating really well on the first few pages or first few features of your product, and you get the design exactly as you want it to be. Take a lot of screenshot from other pages, other products, and your own products to improve them exactly the way you want to make feel. So for example, it is looking much clearer to the airline, but it's not exactly same to same. That's why you should have your own touch, and that's what I did in here. I have my own way of looking at the product. I want to make sure this is the feeling that I want my product to invoke. So you just saw what I just did. We first created a very basic version with AI that was not looking great, and then you basically take a lot of inspiration and you gather them. You extract design system from them, and then use that design system to update your design, and then go through each of the section to further refine them. Further, and that way you have a very unique design that is unique to you, that does not look like AI slop. So I think this should help you create better looking products in a much more consistent manner, rather than trying to guess every time and hoping that the design that AI will create will look better. And most of the time that is not the case. So you have to make sure you are in the driving seat of your design. You can always improve your product by continue iterating, and that is the main secret behind any great product that exists today. So make sure you care about your product and look at your competitors, and you understand what your user needs. As long as you keep looking at those, you will end up having a very good product. I'm going to make more advanced videos in the future about building great products with more details. So if you're interested in that, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next one.